Hello everybody and welcome to VP taking on Hard Legion pistol round, live in front of your eyes as VP have already gone straight down middle, realizing now we don't have X-ray on, so we're gonna have to take a quick break after this round, but for now, you have to just look at the mini-map and trust us when we tell you that Hard Legion are in a 4v3 with VP rotating one over towards that B bomb side kicker, coming to support Adren, leaving James all by his lonesome, but it looks like they do want to come up banana, and as they've taken down Adren, that's looking even more likely.
Yeah, completely overwhelming this area of the map, and doing so extremely early on into the round right now gives them a good position where really they could have done anything with it, but with a player already creeping around through the spawn, that just leaves Kickart in so much trouble. He's on 69 health right now, so one to the head will be fine from behind, and there it is. Forrester gets the kill. That's going to give them the ability to just walk into B. We seen James had pushed through the apartments, which was what actually allowed that player to creep up through mid and out around long. And unfortunately, by the time he actually makes his way down mid, the bomb's already planted, so there's not really much that he can do about it. This is going to be Hard Legion coming in and kicking things off with a very strong start here on the T side of Inferno. As we said, this is the map choice of VP. We've seen Hard Legion coming through and getting the victory just there a moment to go back on Overpass after having a poor start as well. So for them to continue with the momentum that we've seen them gain heading into the second half of Overpass is a good sign for them.
Oh, definitely keeping it rolling on Inferno. That's what we want to see, but the pistol round cannot necessarily, or does not necessarily, give you a follow-up. VP have gone in for a force buy. An aggressive decision, but on a map like Inferno, these pistols are certainly viable, and this makes it dangerous now for Hard Legion. They need to follow through. They have at least got 3 AKs to work around and armor on every player. This is a solid buy. No question about it. Going into apps, though, that's dangerous. Sanji's up close with a deagle, waiting for a victim. Crad spotted them both, but goes down, and now Forrester needs to disengage. What a wallbang. He knows Sanji is close as well. That's why he's trying to create a little bit of distance on the balcony.
Yeah, as you said, Hard Legion definitely need to ensure that they overcome this force buy right now. Otherwise, they're in a lot of trouble because this is an extremely strong map for the buys over on VP. Got some good results on it as of lately. Been able to take down even Navi 16-13 in a close one, sure. But they haven't actually dropped this map at all in the past month or so. So it's been a really good one for them. But Hard Legion, I mean, they showed us what they were capable of back on Overpass. Who's to say they couldn't perhaps prove us wrong right here, even if it is going to be a very difficult task. And right now, overcoming these pistols seems to be a little bit more difficult than you would hope for it to be. They do eventually trade out and get on towards that B-bomb site, but James, he is also in position now, rotated in towards construction. Unfortunately, with the CZ, I don't know if he's going to be able to do much about that bomb planter. You even see Sanji getting taken down in the spawn, so he is now all that remains for VP. At this point, he may just want to consider running away and saving. It is James, so he's probably always considering that, but this time I would like it. Just to have the Kevlar and the CZ in the next round. Otherwise, they're, of course, just looking at a full eco.
They're not checking him, though.
Maybe catch a rifle, yeah.
Third guy, the last man, the straggler, the one he looks to take down. Inky. Oh, no, the timing for Jamie still gets him, but saving this is going to be next to impossible. He's going to wait, try to flashbang out, and pick it up. Oh, is he? No, he's going to just leave it.
He knows they're not going to let him have it.
That's it, right? He would have died. I really thought he was going to just try to bunny hop out with a flashbang and see if he could pick it up. Would have been nice to watch.
I guess the only way to do it would have been if he timed it perfectly for the last second or so of the round so that he could B-hop out, land on the gun, and then the round ends and he survives. But even then, that would have been extremely difficult. That's just me clutching at straws, if I'm being honest. He has the CZ and the Kevlar. It's better than nothing, which is probably what he would have had if he tried to go out and retrieve that weapon. Done some further damage, obviously, so there is still that positive as well from getting that kill. But other than what he was able to save over, it's only really a few upgraded pistols here from VP. So this should be Hard Legion having an easier time than that previous round you would hope for. They do need to try and keep at least 3 players alive in this one, which of course they weren't able to do in the previous. Sanji, though, and the Deagle already finding the opening on mid. You've seen Forrester try and bounce from Boiler as he heard them fading away. Wasn't able to catch them in time, but Sanji looking tempted to re-peek, and obviously there was a kill on Banana in the meantime as well. A bit of damage, not nearly as much as I would have thought. Sanji is actually still on 54, lines them up as he swings in on mid. What the hell is that? I don't even know if he saw Rage. Got the wall bang through the player who was up close. It was the headshot as well. And suddenly it's a 3-on-2, one at least being returned. Sanji's gone, the man who's been a problem for Hard Legion so far in this round, but there's still 3 more players. Oh, and Kickered with his Deagle's going to come in as well and show what that weapon's capable of. Gets the second. Sanji and Kicker just destroyed him with the Deagles.
Of all the rounds to win, it's that one just walking in with the weak buy. You can't even call that a buy. An investment of just pennies. And Hard Legion losing that out, that puts them down to their last dime and dollar. Kratos to take a scout. You've got a Tech 9 for Kinky, and Sviat has to be dropped over a Deagle, I think. I mean, that is rough. VP all of a sudden miles ahead. An AWP in play, an MP9 for a Dren that in this round, it's... I mean, still definitely usable. Two players don't even have Kevlar. Straight down Banana he goes. And that's serious control to have this early on. I'm sure they give it up, but the thing is, Hard Legion don't know that. And it's going to cost them a lot of time and utility to retake anything towards Banana.
Even then, they are leaving, I believe, a Dren just jump peeking the wall with the MP9. So they'll get the info if Hard Legion come back to try and find this. So... It's a pretty standard setup. It gives them the chance to rotate over, stack up a little bit more towards that A bomb site, which so far isn't looking like it's really a massive necessity because you had Sanji open up with his kill from short in towards Boiler. Jame over to Molly. They're actually able to spot one of the players pushing out on towards middle, and already it is a 5-on-3. Hard Legion, they have a minute remaining. They're yet to really get much done. They've lost 2 players, and really for their troubles, not finding any map control to open up the option to move in towards these bomb sites. At least not easily. They would have to battle their way through mid, still up against the op on Jame, and as I pointed out with a Dren playing around Banana on that MP9, they'd still have to clear him out before they could move towards B. And they should know he's playing relatively close, although that Molotov could have been thrown in by the corner and they might have retreated back, so that may be what they presume the CTs have done. Oh, but the smoke certainly complicates things. There's a bit of a gap. Dren jumps over the wall, spots out one player, I believe, moving close. We'll just try and, at this point, delay from sandbags, I suppose. The Molotov from his teammate was like, yeah, you're on your own, man.
He's just bailing out. That makes sense, right? Buster didn't have any utility to come in and support him. No flashes. 15 seconds. Moving in towards the bomb site quite quickly, but VP already have the rotate in. James here to help out. The all posted, spotted. The shadow is all they saw, but the bullets in the back. Or trade out James. Rage has got an op. He's saved over. He needs to avoid dying or he won't get any money for the next round. And no weapon. But instead, he carries forward an op to a team that have only got pennies as well. Under 2K on almost every player. That investment is not going to be great. But Rage will be double eco if they don't buy up. This is a really hard position to play from. I'm surprised no pause comes through. It looks like Rage is happy to just take a pistol or something of the sorts in the next round. Saving over an op on the T side is very unlikely coming into this one. Especially when VP still have Jame on an MP9. He just bought that up for this round knowing that no one would have armor most likely.
Yeah, I mean, unless they want to play the round really slow, so towards the end of it, they start pushing in, and if the pistols don't find success at that point, the op just calls for the save. But I don't know, as you said, it seems like most likely you probably will just see Rage, unfortunately, having a weaker weapon in this next round. They've already creeped out mid. Sanji moving in now from Arch was able to actually spot one of them, and as you had pointed out, Jame had already been aggressive in the apartments with his MP9. He faded back, but decides to run back in. Finds a couple of headshots on Forrester and Crad, building up his bank, which is obviously massive for the op player to be able to find. If he could add a little bit more, that would be nice. And as we can see now, both of those remaining players around mid and Boiler. Rage on the op, though. He's just hoping he's going to get a chance soon to utilize this before he is the last man standing. And it's, of course, gotten pretty close to that point right now. Molly in behind them. I was about to say, likely to be peeked behind it. Flicks around and destroys Sanji, but Jame is still aggressing through the apartments. So he's going to hear that drop back down, and with that, we'll have a bit of info about what's going on. I don't know if he'll know they're going quite down towards the bottom of mid, but this player will. Up close in towards the tree. Buster able to get one, wasting some further time, and even connecting a small bit of damage. You can see with what was able to be found there with the info being found so early on. Dren is already positioned at the top of Banana. And there's just nothing that Rage can do. He is going to try and save that up, actually, which is probably the best case scenario for him, if we're being honest. We said he wouldn't have it in the next round otherwise.
I mean, it's an ideal scenario for sure. Saving it over is always unlikely when you start out the round, but looks like he's going to be able to do it. No one's close enough to take him down as time runs out. Coming in through under. James just checked it, and yeah, that's it. Really? 2 kills? Saving an op? If you told me that at the start of the round, I'd be happy to bet against it. But Hard Legion, going to be over the moon. That's a free AWP for Rage. The rest of the team investing up. You say free, I mean he didn't get loss bonus for 2 rounds. So I guess he's paid the price. But still, I think, happy with his position. The rest of the team coming in with the AKs and the utility, finally, that they're going to have. Or finally, they're going to have it up. As VP move on in, they've built up an okay amount of money on 2 players, but there's still the potential to push them down to an eco relatively soon. Hard Legion definitely not down and out. They're not falling too far behind just yet, but they have no idea about James having already pushed up in the apartments. And as the mollies go down, the nade as well. Thought that was going to land on James for a second. But Sanji falls, and this means he's got to pounce, moving up behind them quite quickly. They're not ready for the flank.
Oh, Lord.
What a play by James. Look at this. 3 of them. He gets 1. Oh, but he can't transfer in time. It took a little bit too long. They're turned around. They're staring at him. And he's doing damage. Nade from the grave. No. 6 and 39.
Just about got out of the way there. In opposite directions. They were like, skedaddle, lads. Oh, and Crad manages to catch Kickard in the pit. This has suddenly turned into a 3-on-2. I mean, James had such a massive opportunity there. The amount of damage that has been done, though, to the Hard Legion players definitely still makes this a viable retake for the CTs, and they should know that. Using those nades to see if they could pick one off, unfortunately not landing them. You're seeing the T's avoiding those commonly naded spots, as there is a bit of a gap, I believe, in that smoke there as well towards the ditch. Rendo going to be able to move around it, finds Forrester up close on the bomb site, but Buster, as he tries to move in, is going to be taken down low. And with being the last man standing, this is now very difficult. Obviously, the bomb is still yet to be planted, so that is one big positive. It's only now gone down. Gets a chance against Crad as he popped up on the balcony. That was a bit dangerous. But yeah, Buster, no way you can do this. Moving in, Sviat's already scoped up close. 3-3, Hard Legion able to get themselves into the round. And, oh, James, he could have got so much more from that position. It's a little bit heartbreaking. It
really is, man. I mean, he comes up behind them. The first kill took way too long. I mean, when you're on that flank, you need to be connecting the headshot. And failing that, well, it was a little bit of a disaster. Hard Legion clutching it now 3-3. I mean, they're keeping their T side alive and active, and Virtus.pro don't have a lot of cash. As we said, the potential to push them onto an eco is still very much there, and the T side could not only be okay for Hard Legion, but it could actually still be very good. The likelihood is there. And for VP, they need to be careful. That nade over to Adren has hurt him, but a 3-man B stack perfectly reading Hard Legion's intent.
Yeah, setting themselves up. A bit wild with that play around the CT smoke, but Buster is able to find 2. Adren then from Oranges eventually gives him the help with the MP9, and yeah, this one's done already. Rage is left in a 1-on-3. I mean, it's not completely over. You could maybe get something done. The issue is the smokes are about to fade away. At that point, getting the bomb planted is going to be extremely difficult. But look at this. He's just going to hide in the back of the bomb site. Wait until they begin to actually question his position. And at that point, potentially rotate off. The issue is James was still posted. They had actually begun to rotate one back over towards A. But yeah, James ready with the up either way. Able to go ahead and get himself that kill. VP, they take the round back. They do so with 3 players surviving. And without that bomb being planted, and even if it was planted, there still wouldn't have been enough here for Hard Legion to get the buy-in again. So they are going to be looking at an eco.
It was a really smart play, though, sitting towards the back of the site. You can see they had no idea whether he'd walked back down. Banana was moving to A. Just the fact that James had the patience to sit there and hold it. A man that's well-versed in patience saving in every game and every round where the opportunity presents itself in a smart way. Whoops. Yeah, he's out of there as soon as he sees a player up close like that on a pistol round. Time to create a little bit of space. What he's doing. That was a very important round for VP. And presumably, I am waiting this discussion on the fact that they don't even lose a player in this one with just Glocks. There shouldn't really be much that's done. Kinky's the only one that can... Oh, Kinky and Farce are both at teams, actually, so... A little bit of damage output potential. But even if they lose one player, it'll be alright. Thing is that... That previous round puts them in a position where they should have that little bit of extra cash, a little buffer to play with. The kicker getting spammed through the wall. Great nade return, but Hard Legion, one more frag and they're looking good for the round.
Yeah, I mean, Sanji's still fighting over towards long as well after finding that kill. So I was going to say if they swung in together, maybe they could have taken the rifle out of his hands, but looking like they do want to try and see if they can maybe find more. They're going to slow things down. Sviat taking that fight towards Banana is quite risky. And actually, as they realize he's distracted by the fight over towards Banana, James just peeks down mid, manages to catch 2. Forrester nearly getting Sanji with the Glock. I think it was 2 dinks, but it wasn't enough to drop him past 57 health. So yeah, VP going to be able to come out on top of that one without dropping another player. They are able to take it clean enough, keeping 4 alive. Hard Legion, they'll come back onto the buy now. Not enough for an up, although, yeah, they could if they wanted a glass cannon, but I mean, an up is already difficult enough on the T side of Inferno. You don't want to be getting one glass cannon, because then you are just screwed if a nade goes anywhere near you. The pause comes in. Yeah, they're having a discussion to see what way exactly they're going to buy up here.
And whilst you're still seeing it be very early in the half, I mean, we're only about halfway through, there is still the the thought that if they lose this buy round, VP will put them onto another eco, and then they're in a position where there's actually money built up. This is where Hard Legion want to make this stop, because if they win this round, you can see that the cash that's still in the bank for Virtus.pro will allow another buy round. So Hard Legion essentially need to make it 5-5, then they'll face an eco and get 6 on the board. At that point, they've made their way to a decent half, and they can potentially get a bonus and bring it into a good spot to play from. That sort of value won't be possible if they lose this. Certainly not if they lose it convincingly. And what happened to Sviat there? He was blind. But Adren, surely he wasn't blind for that long. As Adren came round, just stood there staring at him, eventually takes him down, does damage to Kinky. The nade even going to finish him off. And that is heartbreaking. Hard Legion. And oh, they've lost Rage as well. In such an important round at a 3-man disadvantage, 30 seconds into the round.
Yeah, this is looking a bit more like the VP that you expect to see here on Inferno. It's going to be a very difficult map for Hard Legion to try and actually win out on, if I'm being honest. So winning that first map definitely was a necessity for them. But if they can come out with a good T start, I mean, it's not the worst of sides so far. They obviously won't be ending it with 3. They'll look for a lot more. If they can add another 3 or so, then they'll be feeling pretty happy, but not in this round anyway. As you said, it was a 2-on-5 really before the round had begun. They got destroyed on Banana by the nades, by Rage then just trying to come out. There was a little gap in the smoke as he was trying to get himself to safety, so he was easily spotted. And with that VP, they increased the lead just a little bit further. It's going to have to be an eco. That was the full investment, obviously, in that previous round as well from Hard Legion. So they're going back onto the pistols and calling for another tactical pause. I guess this is kind of just stressing how important they realize this one is for them, because it is such a difficult map that if they let VP start rolling them right now, then it is going to be incredibly difficult to recover. It is not going to be like it was back on Overpass, where Hard Legion were feeling a lot more comfortable in terms of the actual map. Obviously, Hard Legion do play Inferno, but VP, when they play it, they don't lose.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, moving on to this map, let's not sugarcoat things. Hard Legion shouldn't be winning. But you could say very much the same even about the previous. No matter how comfortable Hard Legion could be on a map, VP, so long as they play it and have that level of understanding, you don't imagine that they're a team that will lose. And yet still, despite a great lead on Overpass, things did fall apart in the end. I think they're going to be very tuned in and focused the whole way through this game. They don't want to give Hard Legion any access.
I think Train could be quite close, though, if I'm being honest. So that's why I said picking up Overpass was a necessity for Hard Legion. And I'm sure they themselves realized that Inferno was going to be a tough one. Yeah.
It's definitely not the... It's not a map they're going to be terribly upset if they do lose, to put it that way, but... Whoops. James going to have to bail quite quickly to get away from them. This teammate... So there's no utility, no Molotovs to stop them. Buster tapping heads. Look at that. One after another, they walk forward, and he is just doming them out. Pistols without armor, not standing a damn chance. Although it wouldn't have made a difference. He's just headshotting them with a Krieg. It's still a weapon I don't want to give over to the CT side, you know? Rage bought it up in that previous round where they went towards Banana, and that's how they obviously managed to get their hands on it with that very aggressive push down through Banana. It would have been a Dren that picked it up, I'd imagine, but gave it over to Buster. Or traded out for the AK at least. He wasn't feeling it because he was the first man down Banana, so he had a choice of weapons.
Yeah, understandably, as you said, it obviously has the slower fire right now, but on the CT side, when you can just post up on the angle, they can still be extremely useful. So Buster wasn't really too upset. He's like, yeah, I'll take that weapon. I'll keep some money for myself. Right now, we're looking good on the CT side. Oh, Jem, I believe, may have spotted the head of Forrester right there. Fell straight back away, but Kickert is pushing in through the apartments, and with a smoke down over towards the steps at the moment, he could catch Forrester off guard. As I say, the Hard Legion do begin to move forward for that mid-control, and with the smokes on long, it is going to be a very quick A-Rap coming in right now. The issue is James already finding one. Sanji playing from Grave has been able to do the same and is still alive at this point, wasting time. But he goes down. Rage burns one alive as well. This is crumbling for VP in this round at least. Buster and Adren, all that remain. You will have Buster flanking in through the apartments. Adren right now just ensuring that up close on long is clear as the bomb has just been planted. So they still have time, and they do have some utility.
Nice shot. That's going to pull things back a little bit. VP can definitely go for this. Buster searching for a victim, but he's being spotted. And Adren now knows there's one site, but not a clue about the second one. Here's the step close right. Close to swing, but Rage all too good on the headshots. 4 kills for him. And 4 rounds for Hard Legion. They pull back into it. Give themselves a shot. Thing is, that bonus we were talking about earlier on, with VP having to take an eco, doesn't exist anymore. And we're going to need more big performances from the Hard Legion side. It is worth mentioning their overpass CT was incredibly impressive. Some of the setups, the utility conservation as well, was fantastic to watch. They didn't look panicked at any time, and their terrorist side was where there were a lot of mistakes. Here in Inferno, you expect VP to put up a much better fight, though, on the attack, which is why you wouldn't obviously give Hard Legion the same favor. Coming into this round as well, nade usage has been good for Hard Legion. They dropped a molly straight down towards the T ramp, and that's lit up Rage. Burned him for 58. That nade as well. Gonna take a kill on the Crad. They eventually managed to trade back, though.
Yeah, as you were pointing out there, just the utility damage has been really good. Adding to, as you were in the middle of a sentence discussing it as well, James is going to be smoked off, but a Molotov well-timed to actually delay them from pushing over. Okay, one player does make it across. Kinky able to jump over, taking a small bit of damage yet again for his efforts. Kickered, gonna creep forward, unfortunately, at the wrong time, just as Rage was posted up on the angle. I don't know how that second kill came in. It must have been a wallbang towards the pit. James is in trouble now, pinned in on Moto. Just about escaped through that long smoke, but Hard Legion, as they get the bomb planted again, have the man advantage. This time with a bit more health as well. Sure, they're tagged up, or at least a couple of the players are, but they are not as close to death as they were in that previous after plant. So they're looking even more comfortable for themselves, and I think VP realizing this, they're like, nah, we're going to back away. Hard Legion are going to get a 5th round here on the D side, but we will see VP again being able to buy in this following round as well. But that's when Hard Legion really have a chance to try and put a stop to their economy. If they get one more round now off the back of this, then at that point VP likely looking at an eco, will likely have Hard Legion on 6 for themselves, maybe even 7 because of the eco. So it's a tough spot for VP to be in. This upcoming gun round is going to be important, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pause from them. Or at least I would like to see a pause.
Well, we'll see if they listen to you, Dean. Are they feeling like a pause?
That's not looking like you right now. I think they're feeling okay.
I mean, this is such an important round. Even still, like 5 on the board for Hard Legion. If they win this, it's 7-7. There'll be an eco for VP. They need to really make sure what they're rocking in with is what's going to win. And a double op setup, CT side Inferno. It's not every day you see this coming through, but it's going to have to be successful. Jane wants to get aggressive, catches them off guard, but not able to land the shot. The flash blinding him off the corner. He missed it anyways, though, as they jumped around. Giving up on the early aggression. No control in Banana as well on the back of that mid play. VP, they have nothing. They're just stuck on the bomb sites waiting. They're at Hard Legion's mercy.
With the double up setup, at least that's not the worst case scenario. That's kind of what they're waiting for. They're waiting for them to start pushing forward so they can find these openings with the ops. But straight out Boiler, the Molotov doesn't quite delay them enough. Crad dropped the smoke into Boiler, ran back in, and then afterwards, instead of trying to trade his teammate, that was really weird. But Rage gets the trade instead as he comes out mid. So it is still the man advantage for Hard Legion. It's only going to be Kickered here to actually defend the bomb site. And at least for the moment, he does have rotations now coming in. It's been delayed by that smoke in the apartments. And they are also still up close on short. So, I mean, this indicates they probably will still commit to the A bomb site. But everyone is now here for VP. Oh, this is quite troublesome. I think VP have begun to doubt that they're actually going to commit, though. That is the issue. And alongside that rotation coming in, they even try and find the info by peeking in from long. And that has really cost them now.
Yeah, definitely VP need a big play, a big individual play to make up for the cost that they've just paid. Kicker, the one that's looking to cash in on these vouchers. A couple of opponents making their way through. He needs some stuff for free. Gets one, but traded out immediately. And Buster's got to save if they want any hope of winning that next round. Hard Legion already have their T side locked down. And this is good for them no matter what happens. And considering it's Inferno, excuse me.
Inferno, I like
Inferno. Considering that, well, things are inverted in this series, not quite going the way we expect. Considering it's Inferno. There we go. The blazing map. I thought VP would be off to a fiery start, but instead it's Hard Legion that are really heating up. With one map under their belt, it's time for VP to start sweating. This is not the spot they want to be in. Saving over this AWP, it'll give them a decent-ish investment if they want to just balls out, go for it. On Inferno, it's a map that you get a lot of opportunities like that. And the close range duels with pistols, with SMGs, the occasional XM coming out. Oh, don't peek back this. Okay, good. You could drop one M4 from Buster. Sanji could buy up. You'd have 2 weaker weapons. With an op saved over, that's what they're going to go with.
Yeah, not too surprisingly. Dren is going to be stuck down on the CZ, I believe. Yeah, not having anything on the ground for himself. So it is a relatively limited investment. Obviously, though, VP, they want to pick this up to feel comfortable with to feel happy with their CT side. I don't think to feel comfortable is the right way to say it, because I do still expect them to have a good T side because Inferno is such a good map for them. But to feel good with how this half has gone down, they do at least want to be coming out with 9, because they did have a very solid position at one point. They were up 7-3. Hard Legion, a good recovery with the past 3 rounds actually haven't gone in their favor. And if they can keep this up, if they can even perhaps win out this half, then they will be feeling pretty good about themselves for sure. But there we go. Early apartments control going to be coming in. You're not really seeing it being faced by the CTs. Instead, they boosted a player up on quad. That's a little bit of a change that they're going for. They have Sanji up there with the M4. And it looks like he might actually find some contact soon enough around that area. Crad is pushed up towards the balcony. There is 2 players who are looking like they could want to try and get that mid control now in a moment. And yeah, smoke down over towards long. I don't know if they'll push out with it. The issue is then if they don't, the player up on quad obviously knows that there's no one here.
The crowd's going to back off. They're going to drop down a little bit of noise, but still throwing out the utility. The flash on mid doesn't matter. Adren with the CZ, he made a much looser play than they were ready for. The op of Jane, though, blinded and forced back to CT spawn. How does Kinky hit that? He was falling and running at the same time. Doesn't matter, though. And Jane now on 12 HP. That's Hard Legion locking them out. Looking to close this one. They just need to avoid giving anything away in the post plans. Kicker going to be coming through Banana. The rest of the team in CT. And time already ticking away. Adren's the one to go forward. CZ in hand. But Kicker's been dealt with from behind. Now only a 2-dimensional push remains. And are they realizing they don't want to go for this? Looks like it.
I believe so. Yeah, there's still the CZ sticking around there on the coffins. Adren's trying to see what he can do, but the actual 2 rifles are certainly just going to be saved at this point, or at least that's the goal. They will start hunting this one down. James is still surprisingly actually holding around here. I guess not being sure if there could perhaps be a lurker on the A side of the map already. Trying to get that flank in on them. Oh no, what is going on? Everyone had to reload. Eventually Sviat gets that kill on Sanji. Sviat put an XD in the chat. Then Sanji did too. Yeah, that's really the only response to that situation. Only the op being saved over with that, so it doesn't really give them too much to work with here in the final round of the half. VP, they're on the back foot trying to fight to actually get 8 rounds here on their CT side. After having such a strong start, this is really surprising. We said we expect it to be a very difficult time here for Hard Legion. We think Train is the one where they might have some more opportunities, even though it is still a map that VP can play. It's a bit more of a middle ground for these 2 maps, for these 2 teams. But no, right now they are looking really solid here on the T side of Inferno. Thankfully, they did pick up that pistol round in the beginning, but they didn't get a lot back off it, but it did give them a bit of a foundation to build off of, and right now, they do have 7 already. Looking for the 8th, that'll be perfect for them, but having lost the player early on, that is a little bit awkward. They get rid of the weapon, at least.
Starting to move up towards... Whoa, that nade did not go according to plan. Still good damage done by a second thrown through. As Fiat and Rage lose a lot of health, but Forrester, he just goes barreling out. Not ready for a second player around here, and Kickard, so much damage done with just the Deagle. Considering an MP9 and a FAMAS are left in play, I mean, obviously they're going to go for it. They've got a pretty good chance of actually getting in here. They have a kid as well. I mean, Virtus.pro, Rage on 57, Fiat on 11. They've got something to work with. Issue, well, as an AWPer, not in the pit actually, on side instead, and he was just heard scoping up, but 2 players in pit, they should be able to deal with this as VP move forward. The smoke though, that's going to stop them from doing a lot.
Yeah, makes things quite a bit more complicated as they move forward. It gives them a bit of room, the CT's a bit of room to move forward, but you can see even Cradden spamming through, actually doing a good bit of damage. This is such an awkward exchange. Adren with the MP9, they're, yeah, as you said, all so low. Eventually sprints in to get that first, but at this point the bomb's already ticking away. Unless they both peek him right now, then it shouldn't really be that possible. Nearly manages to catch Crad. Oh, but the movement, it's too much for him. Just about making it around the corners. There it is. Hard Legion, they managed to come out with 8 rounds on their T side. After it was looking like VP were probably just going to go ahead and dominate them. That was not the case. They swap over to the CT side now with a round advantage, especially if they can get this pistol. They are in a great position to go ahead and try and even finish this off 2-0, which we were not expecting. But of course, VP, they will look to fight right back into this one, guys. We're going to send it over through a quick break at the halftime. And when we return, I hope it's going to be just as exciting as that first half was.
Chasing love in an empty bar. Pour a drink till I make it past. The midnight hour seems to come and go, but I know. Walk on up with a drink in hand, sipping mixers cause you can. And all the lights begin to switch off. You're chasing the light, holding on for life, feeling the high. Chasing the light, chasing the night, chasing the night, chasing the night, holding on.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Virtus.pro versus Hard Legion. Half number 2 with 8 rounds on the board. Hard Legion have had one hell of a T side on VP's map pick. Now it's time to try and close out the game. They've already got one map on the board, and that would be a hell of a series to 2-0 for Hard Legion with the new replacement Rage coming in, filling the boots of Speedak and then some. He's had an insane performance. This VP moving towards that B bomb site. There are 3 players already here.
And the molly not going as deep as I believe they hoped for it to. It does give room for that player in the back of the site to still play around, not getting himself the kill by helping out for Crad. And now Kinky as well. Yeah, they had no idea that he was up close in second oranges. I called him Kanky. That was a weird one. But yeah, that flank from Rage, he goes ahead and finishes it off. He eventually is able to pounce in on that round, bringing himself up to 17. But it was that 3-man stack. It was Crad then in the back of the bomb site as well. It was able to get the 2 kills from the damage Sviat had done. Then he just hid away while all the focus was on him. Kinky, aka Kanky, just pops out and is like, bam.
No, they had no idea he was there. And I only fear now for the voice clip that may be appearing on Twitter and Reddit and stuff in a while, where I saw Kinky's position, said his name in a deep voice. And now
Kinky.
That is Kinky. Gonna sound
that was extra
out of context. It's gonna be really weird, but
uh-oh.
it's his fault for naming it that way.
VP. Yeah, he has a Q and an I and an E in there.
He
mixed it up. Oh, there was nearly a chance there for that kill from Jamie. Actually doing good damage to make it easier for Buster. Obviously, it was only one of the MP9s, but with so little investment in this round, I don't think VP are expecting a lot.
No, I mean, look, if you're finding yourself 1 kill, moving on to a second, especially if it's the MP9 connecting it, then they're going to be flying. You know, that's a round that you're happy to connect. On the off chance you do make it there. But it is a hard enough road to make happen. You know, you're coming up against these SMGs, they will just tear you to shreds. If you're a Drain, you got to be finding the first shot. He's actually the last man moving in towards Banana as well, so they'll probably wait up for him, I'd imagine. Because realistically, he wants those P250s to swing out wide, the MP9 and the Deagle ending up behind them. Exactly like that. Kicker's got himself a frag. Already, this is a perfect round. Coming through from VP, another one. Oh my word, that is great damage for Kicker. He's farmed 2 SMG kills. He's got 3k already in the bank. Managed to retrieve an AUG and a 1v2. This is doable. Hard Legion have really let themselves go on that.
Yeah, but without the armor, with low health, he's going to need these instant headshots to make it doable, as you said. And right now doesn't realize they've already creeped the player up close in towards the pit. So this is going to be tough. He is being flanked out right now. And yeah, an easy kill for Forrester. But as you said, still a lot closer than Hard Legion would have hoped for. There was a few $100 investment. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but a few of the players at least were still on the Glocks. They had a couple upgrades to the P250s that I do recall, but overall, nowhere near enough that you think, okay, they're going to get 3 kills in a bomb plant. And they managed to do that. So they put themselves in a pretty decent spot now coming into this round. A strong investment coming out. Jamie even able to get the op into play. But obviously, VP, they do still need to win this round to make that damage from the previous one matter, to be able to actually capitalize on it. And I mean, it's kind of surprising we see the op coming out early on, but I guess James' style, he can switch it up. He can play a little bit more passively when needed here. And without the CTs having one, of course, that does give him the opportunity to find anyone who tries to get aggressive early. I guess also thinking with some weaker weapons potentially being retained that you might have seen a more aggressive play from Hard Legion, but that is not the case. Instead, just stacking a few nades in towards Banana. They do some damage, but they aren't really able to keep the control.
Spawning players towards the top of Banana as well. VP are unlikely to commit on the back of this, but Hard Legion do need to be worried. That's why you see the rotate of Rage already on its way. Crad can smoke it off, move towards the bomb side if he wants, but I'm guessing he's being boosted up in a second. I mean, Rage playing further back has got a flash still. So if they were to come in, oh, there we go. Okay, Rage goes to side instead. Crad gonna stick down in CT, more comfortable on that angle. The problem is they lose Kinky on the A-bomb side. That's really where the focus now turns to. Hard Legion of 3 players on B. And a solo A defender. Forrester has to go into a tighter angle. Oh, no, he gets headshot by the smoke. What is that? It slowed him down and it gave away his position.
It's a recon smoke.
Oh, the Sova of Counter-Strike. Beautiful.
Right off his face, he's like, oh, I heard that. Ready for the peek as soon as it came in. And obviously probably slowed him down a little bit while he was trying to peek in. As well as obstructed the vision. I mean, a smoke in your face is never going to help. The A-bomb site's gone, though. I do believe that the opening kill by Sanji was also through that smoke there over towards short. I don't even think you could actually see the player. So it was a little bit of a spam through. And then also that killing towards the balcony just ends the round. I mean, there was a little bit of unfortunate situations right there. But at this point, Hard Legion are forced to save on top of the damage that was done in that previous round. They really don't have any spare money. And I think VP want to hunt this. Yeah, they know how much they were able to do in that previous round. And being down on the T side right now, if they can get rid of these weapons and give themselves a chance to pull back a couple rounds a little bit easier, then that is a massive thing. Right now, struggling, but Buster, okay. He does burst the bubble of the Hard Legion players. It's only Rage now trying to secure that one weapon, which is obviously not going to be enough for the buy in the next round either way.
Well, that is probably the most tragic round you've seen for quite a while. The opening duel through a smoke, then a smoke also playing a role in the second frag, but not the way you expect. It's like a YouTube thumbnail. I killed someone with a smoke, but not how you expect. Right into his face, man. Gotta hurt. Poor Forrester as well. He had the timing on that swing. Had he have been able to just Ferrari peek around that corner, just zoom in there and get the kill, and the player was still taking his AK out. Those couple milliseconds cost him. And left him on a predictable angle as well, right? Because instead of swinging out wide, he was just right on the corner. Basically standing still. Double digits for Hard Legion.
Caught in position, yeah.
They're being caught up on at this point as well. VP. They're only one away from catching them. Or, well, two. So I say one away. Because if Hard Legion lose this after investing in, they got 3 rifles to work with, then VP will face an eco, and I doubt they lose that. So this buy round stands between them and equalization.
I don't think Hard Legion will be too worried. I think they're still pretty comfortable with the 3 weapons here that they have in play. Obviously lacking in nades and such. It could have maybe been a good idea if they were to take the ecos and just prioritize as strong of a buy as possible. But with the weapons that they have here, it's still definitely achievable. They know if they are to win this one, obviously VP really won't have much to work with. So it will put them in a really strong spot to try and actually close this series out. And right now, again, though, with the CTs really not having too much utility and such to work with, they are forced to give up that banana control. Kinky, the sole man, pushed forward on that mid area, but there is Rage up through the apartments who's able to trade once that player begun to fall back away. They do find an opening on B in the meantime, though. Unfortunately, as Crad, I believe, playing above the coffins goes down, caught trying to see what he could catch over the smoke. So they kind of just gambled that a little bit. The 3 rifles left over on A are at least able to save. But they're still not going to be able to buy up around them then in this next round. So they are, as you said, likely looking at 10 rounds for VP. But again, 3 rifles, they can do some damage at least. They can make it close. And of course, there always is the opportunity for any of these 3 players, especially Rage, who right now is playing like a monster, to step up and catch a couple of kills maybe in this next round. VP, did they want to hunt this time? Maybe not quite as aggressively. They really don't have too much money themselves.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just sitting down in banana and saving these weapons is the right call. You don't want to, although there's a benefit to it, you'd be playing into their advantage, really. If you're the ones who are running around looking for them, you could catch a couple of you off and just weaken that economy. VP will be happy to survive with 4 players and face into whatever Hard Legion have in store for them. With 3 rifles, again, it's possible to get yourself a buy up. The only shame is they could drop 1 FAMAS, right? Rage could give 1 over. Forrester and Sviat, not quite as healthy. But at that point, you'd have a FAMAS with utility and 1 player on a pistol in util. I wouldn't have actually been against seeing a force buy at this stage. But saving over equally is... I mean, just because you got those 3 free rifles, though, I probably would have preferred the FAMAS.
Yeah, I don't know. They can still get a lot done here. Oh, okay. Boost over to mid smoke. That was an interesting one. Not one you see too commonly, and I think normally as well over towards the other side from the boiler area instead. So that's a massive opening. Obviously, they won't be able to retrieve that weapon, but with already having the 3 rifles that were saved over in play, it's a pretty good spot to be in. Yeah, ideally, it would have been nice to have pistols on those other players as well, just so they'd have a little bit extra to work with, but the money not affording it too easily. But haven't actually lost the player early on. It seems like VP just want to group up now. Begin to take things in towards middle, at least try and get that extra control for themselves, because obviously already having 1 player pushed up all the way towards the top of banana has cut off the CTs from really being able to get any info over there. So they're putting the pressure on towards A. They could still commit right now, and I guess it depends on what they're able to find. They do get 1 kill, but there's still 3 more players around here. So this is very, very risky indeed. And yeah, the bomb begins to fall away. It's just Kicker trying to do what he can, but that's another AK that now is going to be retrieved by Hard Legion. Unfortunately, over on B, Crad only has a USB, so I doubt he finds anything. Oh, maybe. Nah, he nearly had the chance to catch Buster. Yeah, and this one's done. Unfortunately, Forrester goes down to the op as well. So that's one of the rifles gone. And it's a 2-on-3, but they don't have a kick. Kinky doesn't have armor. The bomb is now being planted. A B retake is difficult enough as is. I think saving definitely would be the best option here. I think they're trying to get at least one more kill.
Look for an exit. Do the damage that they can. Make the round at least semi-worthwhile. As Fiat doesn't have the ability to get out of here, he'll have to wait a little bit until that bomb's about to explode. They're exiting Banana, though, so he's free to leave. Right, no. Fiat, you crazy mofo. But he's out. He's leaving. I mean, those weapons are going to be very valuable for them coming into this. Your 2 M4s for free. You can drop over to your buddies. Full utility is going to come through then. But no AWP. That's, I guess, one small downside. We've seen Rage play like an absolute animal. He still gets a scope out in the form of an AUG. And we're seeing Rage loves that, right? The AUG and the Krieg. He's pulled out both so far.
Yeah, he had the Krieg obviously for, I think it was only 1 round maybe back on the T side that he pulled it out, ended up giving it over to the CT side. Pulling out the AUG now, I think it has always still been fairly viable, just been a lot more expensive. So it's an interesting choice, but they do have 2 of them in play as well. So we'll see how this goes. It can help out, especially when you don't have the op for those longer ranged angles. And yeah, you can see that's where Rage has his positioned over towards long, but he's not able to hit the spray. He barely even does any damage. And Duran able to get the opening kill in favor of VP as Hard Legion now could be in a position where they might even lose the lead here. It's been VP with quite a few rounds in a row. At this point, 3 of them chained together. They did get this banana control early on, but have been kind of restricted. But look at this boost. Once that molly goes away, if they try and follow up with this, they could be in trouble with the op just waiting for it. Oh, the flash, though, it actually does force him back off, and a bit of damage being done. The nade.
Ooh. Straight on to James. The molly as well followed up. That's going to keep them forward, and they look to just blitz on. Or they were. James down to 14 HP. With Sanji being so low as well, I mean, this is great for Hard Legion. Such easy fights to develop later on. 45 seconds as well. The T side needs to make a move. The bomb's starting to move in towards that banana area. The rest of the players, though, not all with them. Bit of a fake out to A. Dropping into the pit for free, and Adren gets the opening. They might even want to fall back on this as he gets a second. Are they still going to push B? No, look, for a second they started to move forward, but eventually the call is made. Like, guys, we've got A open completely. Let's just do it.
Yeah, you don't want to risk going in towards B when you have a good idea that there is likely 2 players there. Or if not, in towards the spawn, maybe they were already rotating, but they could still perhaps be moving back at that point. Because even if they weren't on the A bomb site, when you're left in the 2-on-5, there's a good chance that you do just instantly call for the save and move back onto B. So yeah, it would have been pretty awkward. But yeah, they were able to get up and plant that bomb on A with no troubles. The amount of damage though that was done in the beginning of this round from Hard Legion, despite actually losing a player, it kept them in with a chance of winning it. Unfortunately, not even able to get a kill in the end. They may do now as they are being hunted down, but that's just going to be in an attempt to save their weapons. There's going to be, of course, no larger victories being found here for the players of Hard Legion, and I don't even think that's going to be found. Already Jane with a headshot on Krads. Yeah, hiding in the back of the bomb site. They'll know he's around here somewhere. Could be construction or the spawn even potentially, but now as he pops out and gets one, they definitely know where he is, and unfortunately he isn't even able to get that second on Kickered. If he had have, then he probably could have just hit back in, and at that point I think it was James who was on banana being low, couldn't really just run at him with the op to try and actually get the kill. But it doesn't work out. 11-10 VP, they go ahead and regain themselves the lead for the first time now in a little while, since towards the end of that second half. Of that first half, my bad.
Don't be doing the spoilers, Dean. You're reading ahead in the script. What are you doing, dude?
Sorry, it was 1 page over by accident.
Oh, damn. The wind must have come through the window.
Honest mistake.
Yeah, it's all right. It happens. It happens. We'll let you away with it this time. Back to, I think it's scene 4, act 1.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Buster just walked the banana. They just covered that area in Molotovs, and I believe the player who was on the corner kind of got forced a little bit forward by it. Wasn't able to escape. Rage only having the 5-7. Just pistols here, so we're not really expecting a lot, but a few kills would be nice to actually just keep the damage on. Because you're already seeing the economy of VP building up into a pretty incredible position, especially if they're able to take this round with 5 alive. At that point, they will not really be worrying about that economy anymore, at least not for a while.
Bomb has been planted. No weapons to be retrieved by Hard Legion. It's going to be a nice, slow little play as they look for exits. Going in for the retake is not really the most viable of plays. Saving over as well. Kinky has armor, so that would be an advantage. But for Forrester, he's going to aim to just take a couple of heads, and you can see he's currently looking in towards middle from second mid, just outside of the apartments. I think he can take a peek here and bait them in. Look, they've seen a leg. They've seen a shoulder. He's just showing some tail. And here we go. They move forward. They're going to be in trouble to that deagle on the side. Ren is close. He might give away a weapon. He goes around the corner. The shots are missed, though. And with that, he just avoids giving them any extra money. But that is, that's a shame. Could have been a free AK.
Yeah, that was just a weird one. It wasn't a great choice for Dren to actually try and hunt that in the first place. As you pointed out, there wasn't a lot for him to gain. There was quite a bit more for him to lose. Having the money where he doesn't have to worry about reinvesting into the next round because he would have had it either way, but you have to worry about giving away a potential AK to the CT side that they wouldn't have had otherwise. So yeah, that doesn't happen in the end. There is still a great buy here from Hard Legion, but VP now in the lead by 2 rounds. This is their map. This is a map that they have yet to actually lose in the past few months of play. So once they get going, I would imagine it's going to be quite difficult now for Hard Legion to stop them. And if they are to, it needs to be right now in this round. So, yeah, wanted to try and aggressive it. That Molotov makes things complicated. He didn't take too much damage from it. A little bit comes through from the nade as well. But for now, they are at least making that banana control for VP quite costly in terms of actually taking some damage and also having to use a lot of their own utility to try and actually claim it and having not had success so far.
The setup on long is quite strong, though. With Rage having an AWP, he eventually decides to continue aggressing, moving up forward. They want to get the information, but that comes at a heavy, heavy price. Crossing over further, Krad's taken down, and with that, A is open. Open for business. Or so VP think. They've taken down 2, and now a 3rd. Do they suspect Forrester to be here? Well, it might not matter. They've taken Sviat now, just a split into B. As unfortunate. Hard Legion just got heavy baited in by the lack of any progress from VP. They make noise top mid, nothing else, and after that, players on long, Rage and Krad just getting a little bit itchy. They want to go out, they want to see, are the T's here, what's happening? They go slow right into the Oppa Jame. The round ends pretty much that instant.
This is getting out of control for Hard Legion. As we had even pointed out in the first half, if VP were to get this momentum, this kind of momentum going, it would be difficult to stop. We've seen Hard Legion actually being able to overcome it there on the previous half and get themselves a good recovery in the end. But now that they're on the CT side, the economy being so fragile, they just keep kind of getting bounced back and forth between the half pies and the gun rounds, and VP are likely about to be on 14-10 before we see that full investment again from Hard Legion. So very likely just the 1 full gun round remaining for them at this point if they aren't able to find success with it. They just have the 1 player on towards B in the beginning here, showing a little bit of presence with Krad and then instantly rotating him back over towards mid. And this has been an area where VP have been shown a lot of presence throughout these past few rounds. So hoping that they'll be able to actually catch them off guard. Maybe at least get a few kills early. Perhaps steal some weapons which they could do more with. For now, though, we will see VP just taking it slow. Knowing that they're up against one of these weaker investments. They're showing a bit of presence around Banana as well. Trying to probe around mid to see what is going on. It's actually Sanji who gets flashed out with the Mac-10. And now they're just going to go on a pursuit. They should have an idea that there's at least 3 players around mid now. Yeah, they're going to start moving towards B. Obviously, still having to be a bit cautious about this as they go in. They will have to clear their positions, but Rage spamming through the smoke means, okay, maybe there's just 1 on site at that point. That's what they're considering. They'll keep moving securely and will soon realize that they do have the position now to actually go ahead and get that bomb planted. So I don't think they'll be worrying too much anymore, unless we see the kill being found by Rage. Sviat finds one in the meantime and some good damage done on the Jame. This could be dangerous. Buster recovers, though, towards Banana. Jame at 1, and Forrester is beginning to back away, as you would expect. He has Kevlar, which could be useful in this next round.
Well, worthwhile saving. No real weapons recovered, though. Unfortunately, all they were able to pick up was the Mac-10 on that push through, so there's nothing for him to save over past the armor, unless he can find an exit with Jame already known to be low. That seems to be what he's looking for. Jame moving down Banana at the moment, scoped up, ready for it. Tries to bait the shot, but it's not possible. And Forrester realizes what's waiting for him around the corner. Just backs off. Definitely the right play. A little bit of money might not seem like a lot, excuse me. But it did mean that he could buy up an AWP. And that said, though, it's perfectly viable for everyone else to get that alongside the full utility. So, didn't play the biggest of roles. And in fact, they even go for the double op setup. All it really resulted in is like an extra Molotov for him. But
at this point, everything helps, especially on Inferno. The nades, they are very useful. There's one of them already being thrown out, that Molotov down towards the bottom of mid. They're actually going to go really aggressive with this. Banana is just pounded by utility at that point. The Molotov taking down one, but Buster, actually expecting that mid-aggression, will react just in time to catch Kinky. You see the op of Crad trying to see what he can find around Banana, but it's just everyone pushing forward at this point, no matter what side you're on. Sanji tried to pull a kill out of the apartments there to maybe open up the A bomb site. If he had have got that, they likely would have just ran the bomb to A. But now instead it is the 3-on-3, and VP at this point probably just going to slow things down. They have a lot of time, and the 3-on-3 really isn't a bad spot to be in this early on.
Dean, I just want to go back real quick. Forrester bought head armor. He had 99. He spent 1k for one armor plus
I was wondering
helmet.
about that. Because he had saved over just body armor.
I wanted to go back and double check just to be 100% sure before I said, why did he just spend 1k? There was no point. That's so dumb. Like, why? Their money is low. They need that 1k. They need. What was the point of saving otherwise? What, you didn't give them a couple $100? That is ridiculous. Okay, well, hopefully that money isn't needed later on. I saw it on the thing. I doubted myself. I was like, no, surely something else happened. Maybe he had 100 armor, but no, he had 99. He definitely invested fully. As if he had none. That's insane. Buster in a 1v3 though. The kills have been pulled back as I was speaking. Both AWPs, Rage and Crad answering. And although Rage is smoked off, they're going to push right up next to him. Buster perfectly timed pushing through that. He didn't hear Forrester, and he definitely didn't hear Crad go down the bottom of Banana and take the kill. Both ops going to be saved over as well because Forrester was so close in CT. But that's really upset me. That's really honestly upset me that he saved Kevlar and bought a helmet versus a full buy of VP. You know that no one's going to be buying a Mac 10 on a round like that. Or a pistol. Like, madness.
I mean, it helps if you end up fighting a pistol or something along those lines. They did win the round, though. They were also in a 3-on-2 when you had brought it up, so I don't think it was really being too big of an issue for them at that point, but it was, if they had have lost the round, obviously that extra money would have been extremely useful, and even now,
or at any point forward,
going into this round, yeah, so it was definitely a weird choice, but thankfully it doesn't really immediately cause any issues for them. They'll be buying back in here. Obviously Forrester, as you said, was able to live. He saved the op over, so he does have to reinvest into the rifle himself. Kinky's going to be able to get his weapon out easily enough. Also, in case you don't know, this is a technical pause right now, just a mic issue for Sanji.
Right, okay. The a situation for Hard Legion at the moment, if you just look at where they're at, and if at any point they're 1k away from buying, you know why. Essentially just add an extra 1,000 to Forrester's money all the time, and if it ever comes into play for the rest of this game that costs them, I'm going to be really annoyed. Now, the reality is there is a chance that he may be just out of habit. I've done it before, I'm sure we all have, just clicked on it and went, oh, god damn it. And unfortunately, it's not like the likes of Valorant where you can just sell it afterwards. Yeah. But maybe. I'm going to have faith. Forrester's a smart guy. I'm guessing that it was just a force of habit. He hit a bind or something like that. And then started kicking himself right after. Not the biggest of deals. Just caught me off guard. That's all. Hopefully his mic issue will be fixed in a bit anyways for Sanji. A VP pulling this all the way back on their T side. Let's just take a look at the scoreboard for a second there. And look at that streak of rounds. They're finding 7 in a row. Also, props to ESL for segmenting this into groups of 3. It makes it so much easier to just go, whoop, 7. 2 groups in 1. Easier to glance. But they've done so well. And Hard Legion picking up that one, they've got to be careful because the momentum that we are already seeing from VP to consistently connect these, and plus the money in the bank to constantly buy up, that does make things a little bit scary.
Yeah, it's going to have to be really the Hard Legion picking up the pace massively. After that pause, they need to be able to replicate the performance from that previous round. Ideally do so a bit more convincingly as well, because if they hadn't saved the double up setup, for example, they wouldn't have had that here again. They certainly don't have the money to be rebuying into things like that, so this one is so crucial for them. Not a lot going on. There's just this one player for the VP side lurking in the apartment between Sanji, and he's going to find quite a few players in just a moment. Question is, can he get any kills from it? Unfortunately not. Sviat actually finds one coming through that smoke on Banana. Dren jumps through to follow up and trade, but they still have Crad playing passively from the spawn, so if he can even just find one kill, confirm the advantage even further in their favor before they start pushing in, and at that point, just play for the retake. That is perfect, and there we go. Gets a kill, is even able to drop down the smoke. I was figuring, okay, they'll smoke off the spawn, that's when they'll peek, maybe he could time the shot, but no. We do see the little jump peek coming in as an attempt to actually try and bait out the shot so James could get the kill, but it just didn't work. A little bit unfortunate. He's going through this smoke. He actually may catch the player who just dropped the utility from the CT spawn. Gets spotted by Crad and is now just down with his head in the pit here, hoping that he'll be able to eventually pop up and see what he can find. And indeed, this is where they need to go forward. Everyone from the CT side is beginning to rotate over. There's only Kinky who's been left behind for now, just in case they move back, but that's no longer going to happen. They've confirmed that the bomb dropped in the spawn. Forrester catches Kickered, and there it is. Second round. They're on the CT side, or at least since those initial 2 rounds we've seen Hard Legion picking up from the back of the pistol. And that's it's really all they've been able to do here in the gun rounds. Can they keep it up? It's definitely possible, but as you mentioned, VP have so much money.
We were talking about that AWP of Rage and the impact that it could have, and did have on the previous map. He was 4 for 1 in opening duels, 23 kills as well. And moving on into this one, he seems to be having just as easy a time when it comes down to Inferno. Even T-side. Whoops, that's a very quick run boost. Right across middle. It's one of the cleanest I've seen in a long time. I love it. Actually put a big smile on my face, just how quick and efficient that was. 4-man stack here early as well on the A-bomb site. They've got to get some aggression. You can't just leave B open like that, and indeed, the rotate already on its way from Sviat. In fact, I would guess that Buster is hearing that, hearing the steps of Sviat go over there, and they might think that that's a 3-man B stack now. Perhaps the reason that they're picking the bomb and starting to move to A, presuming there's only 2, when in fact, all 4 are here. They've realized the juggernaut that they were up against and started to slow things down. In fact, now making the rotate with the bomb to the B bomb site, where Crad waits, AWP in hand, smoke about to fade, giving him a chance to play from the coffins and take that ranged fight. On they go, flashes through, Crad onto Kicker, Sanji as well taken down. That flash was so good from Sviat, they were still blind. A couple of seconds later, he had the time to turn around, realize the other player was there, and continue spraying. And VP have got to be banging their heads against a wall there. They thought they'd found the read, that A was open for the taking with just 2 players. They walk in, there's 4. Okay, let's rotate B, but they're slow. They're still sticking around top mid. They can't send the bomb in by itself, and as they eventually do, the flash from Sviat ruins any hope. $200, all they needed as an investment, and they just tore them apart. Obviously, they had the weapons alongside it, but that one piece of utility turned the round from a dangerous B push from VP to just an easy cleanup.
I had a small technical issue. Apologies, I am back now.
All good.
Unfortunately, missing a little bit, and missing the Hard Legion are able to actually pull another round in their favor, and doing so with all 5 players surviving. Jesus, okay. I just had a look at this one after missing out. This is getting a little bit shaky again for VP. I mean, they are finally beginning to run out of money. They have enough there for a few players left over if they were to lose this one, but at that point, it'd be 14-14. Hard Legion, since they pulled out this double op setup, have been looking a lot better on the CT side. Right now, though, again, not really looking to challenge too aggressively around most places on the map. There is just the upper here of Crad, hoping he could find something as they push forward over towards Banana, but isn't really able to do so. Did he want to molly in so that they could maybe retake some control? No, I don't think that's going to be allowed.
Yeah, he went for a little bit of a shallower molly than what he was going to throw originally, giving him a chance to swing through in the op and look for a frag, but no one was pushed out of position by it. And boosting up towards the back of the bomb site. Brad going to be moving into a wider angle towards Dark, or this... Yeah, it's going to be Dark. He plays with the AWP, giving him a nice little angle to play off. And if he fires off a shot, they're likely to start blitzing for... Oh, look at this. Adran just running out in the open. He wins that duel to Sviat. The trade is there, but now Krad is left alone. Sviat was supposed to be his backup, but instead, Krad is the last man alive. His teammates on the rotate. His rage comes through, but that's a 1-for-1 trade after.
Yeah, the bomb will be planted now for VP as well, making this difficult. There's still a lot of utility, at least for the Hard Legion side, as they are going to be moving in, but at the moment they have to wait for Kinky as he's coming up through Banana to try and give them that extra angle of attack, and even then he's taking his time, expecting for VP to be facing around this position. Not currently the case. There was one player holding it. There still is, as Buster's left around that area. The Molotov, though, in towards the back, not quite landing. That really could have helped them out, and now the bomb is just taken away so quickly. I don't even think saving is really going to be an option for them. Yeah, you can see Buster doesn't want to let them back out of construction, so there's a good chance these weapons do end up going down. And VP, with that, have gone ahead and found themselves a map point, and yeah, denied any weapons from being carried over. They do still have enough to get the investment either way here. On a couple players, I think they'll be lacking nades, but it's not going to be too bad. 2 in a row to bring it to overtime, it's certainly possible. But VP, they confirm themselves the comfort of at least having the overtime.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice thing to have at your back, knowing you can't just be blasted out of the series. Especially against Hard Legion, the way they've been playing so far. Their money is on its last legs. And losing this pretty much guarantees them a loss overall. Heavy pressure on their backs. Double op setup not appearing in this one. Rage is the only one to have it. Not making the same kind of gamble they did in the past. The rotate hurt as well as Kinky makes his way quickly towards this B bomb site. Remember, last time VP heard that coming through, immediately the other player went back. It would have been Sviat at the time. Back to the A bomb site, and they had a 4-man stack. So I don't think VP will read all too heavily into the current stack up on the B site, even after hearing the rotates. They move on forward. Buster is good for 1-for-1 trades, but he spots out at least 2 B.
Yeah, that's what my worry was with that. They could, in theory, move this back towards A quickly, but I think that's the kind of rate that Hard Legion have had as well. They've rotated their players back over. For now, the bomb is still on Banana, but it's beginning to move back down slowly. I think they might want to leave a Dren. Yeah, hearing one player rotating over towards B, they don't know that there's no one else there. They might think that there's a second player now actually on B because of that. Yeah, Dren beginning to move back down, and there's going to be 3 ready to defend this A bomb site. Rage still going aggressive, finds JM, tries to follow up with more. Maybe that is a bit ambitious as he does go down, but there's still 2 players ready around this area. Kinky coming back in through library as he had begun to rotate off, but not too late. He is going to be in position now, ready to help his teammate as the flashes coming over do blind up multiple players, but he's not able to capitalize on it, and unfortunately Sanji with a flash as well actually takes both of those players on the site's vision away, and suddenly it's all on Sviat, looking like VP will be able to close this one out, despite struggling a little bit towards the end, as it's Sviat to save the day. 1-on-2. Kickard is low. Sanji's tagged up slightly. It's not completely impossible. But as he pushes forward, once he finds contact on one, the other should be ready to pop out and get the trade.
Yeah,
or else it just works like that.
The crossfire was perfect from them, really. Very difficult to do anything